UFC 316 just took place, and I'm here to give you my breakdown, reaction, slash takeaway from every single fight of the card. Pretty shit card, gonna be honest, but it was good in comparison to the last couple cards we got. Alright, Aaron Blanchfield, Macy Barboach didn't even fucking happen because they pulled out last minute, literally last minute, and we had to see Gilbert Burns get fucking TKO'd and broken. But this card, there's a lot of prospects that are looking pretty good. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the future. We'll get to the main event, okay? But overall, pretty good card. I went positive on picks. I believe I'll have my picks at the end. My record. I believe I'm still on that win streak, or still back on a win streak, I should say. As far as my positive cards, I think I've had, this is going to be 16. I'm 16-3, I think, on positive cards. So yeah, feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you're looking for picks and predictions on every single fight card, because that's what I do, alright? I live in this space, alright? Now, with all that being said, I also started streaming, so check out my streams. You can catch me, like 8 p.m. plus, yeah, EST, any day of the week, pretty much. Yeah, you'll see me around. Hit that subscribe button. Anyways, shameless plug over. Let's get into the card. Marquel Medeiros versus Mark Chionsky. Chionsky's pretty tough. Medeiros is pretty... He's good. He's good, don't get me wrong. He's good. But Medeiros has this thing where he is technically sound, but he does a lot of rookie mistakes. So it's like, I don't think he's like ranked level yet, especially at lightweight. But he is like good. Like, he does wild shit. His takedown defense is pretty good. His ground seems to be alright. His striking's pretty good. But he leaves himself open way too much on his exchanges. And Mark almost caught him a few times. Like, if Mark was like a Drew Dober or like Ignacio Bahamondes type fighter, Medeiros would have got slept out cold a few times. But Medeiros gets it done comfortably, 130-27. Mark Chionsky's just not fucking UFC level, in my personal opinion. Rough debut, to be fair, because Marquel Medeiros is a little tougher than I think a lot of people give him credit for. But, yeah. Moving on. Quillan Selkid versus Yanal Ashmuz. Quillan Selkid, look who's a wrestler now, after knocking out Anshul Jubilee in fucking 20 seconds, okay? Yeah, I mean, it was a great showcase of Quillan Selkid. Quillan Selkid was really fucking good in this fight. Now, he's open on the feet, and similar to Marquel Medeiros, but, like, just bigger. Literally like Ignacio Bahamondes, but with shittier striking, kind of, is what I'd say Quillan Selkid's like. This was like if you had Ignacio versus... This is Ignacio versus... Who's the ginger guy? Steamroller Frivola. Matt Frivola. If you had Matt Frivola versus Ignacio, I imagine this is what the fight would look like, you know? But Frivola would probably get chinned. However, Quillan Selkid, great win. It was a tough fight, to be honest, and I thought it was close in moments, but, Ashmuz, tough as shit as well. He ate some big shots. Quillan Selkid, I don't think is, like, this crazy prospect, you know? Like, I don't see him being ranked anytime soon, but he is, I think, still young. He's still pretty good, so, you know, I'm happy to see him. Moving on, we have Jeka Soregi versus Yu Ju Sang. This Yu guy, let me tell you. Alright, Jeka got slept by a jab. It was more of like a check lead hook. It was 1-to-1 Conor McGregor style in terms of like the stance and like how Conor McGregor would get it done. Yu Ju Sang also talks about how Conor McGregor's like one of his favorite fighters, went to his gym, bunch of other shit. You know, he went to Ireland to go to Conor McGregor's gym. Didn't find him there, unfortunately. Hey, you know, it is what it is. But, Yu Ju Sang, this guy's a fucking killer, guys, you know? Jeka sucks. I'll never pick a guy who fucking lost to Weston Wilson ever in the UFC. Jeka's in that category. Didn't pick Jeka, obviously. I slept... Bro, this was like classic. This is vintage, my picks, alright? I swept the prelims, got a little rocky in the middle, and then we did 50-50 on the main card. But we'll get to it. Yeah, Jeka got slumped. He got knocked out cold stiff. I don't know if it's a chin problem. I don't know if Yu just has that crazy power. What I will say, though, he said he wants to avenge Korean Zombie and become, or do what Korean Zombie couldn't, and give, once he's champion, give his belt to Korean Zombie. He wants to hand it to him as a show of respect and appreciation, because Korean Zombie paved the way for Koreans. What a fucking chat, alright? We need more fucking fighters like this kid. Alright, we need more fighters to be like that, where it's just like, you know, there's this fighter, he's a legend in the UFC, I want to become champ, and I want to pay my respects to that fighter. We need more people like that, so I'm happy about you, Ju Sang, alright? I wish Canada would fucking grow some testicles and start doing the same thing, okay? I'm tired of watching my fighters get sumped out cold, fucking fraud checked, you know? Arguably losing to fucking, I know it's Jose Aldo, but arguably losing fights and shit, you know, and split decisions. All right, let's get some ranked fighters, Canada. Okay, but yeah, stellar performance. Stiffed Jekka Saragi out cold. It was phenomenal fucking knockout. It was literally first 20 seconds. 28 seconds. But yeah, moving on. Ariana Lipski versus Wang Hong. Yeah, you see this? Yeah, that's what I think about women's fights, alright? So I flipped a coin for all women's fights during my predictions. It landed on Wang Hong, thank fuck. Wang Hong is shit, though. I will say that. There's going to be a lot of glaziers of Wang Hong. Ariana Lipski had 1 foot after round 1. Wang Hong sucks. She just does. She was hittable on the feet. She was getting shit on anywhere else that wasn't, like, a fucking, you know, if they're going tit for tit, if you know what I mean. You know, when Wang would go in, she would land like 2 strikes and then get hit with 1 on the break. And then as the fight progressed, and Ariane and Lipski fucking, with her 1 leg, as the fight went on, she was landing better shots on Wang Hong. Wang Hong is shit. So yeah, that's the takeaway from that fight. Wang Hong is absolutely fucking terrible. But it's women's flyweight. I think anyone can become champ. Fucking, we could have saw Lipski get the title shot after this fight, for fuck's sake. I wouldn't give a shit. But yeah, women's fight, don't care. Moving on. Chaos Williams versus Gustafsson. Now, I was on the Chaos Williams side, alright? I thought he was a good fighter, but his main problem is that he's really bad at making rounds clear for him. And I'll stand by that, because that was the fucking record of this fight, alright? This was almost like Jared Cannonier versus Gregory Rodriguez, but on Temu. Gustafsson is like, the dude, I don't know what it is about him. It looks like he was summoned in Valheim. Anyone play the game? You know? Any Valheim lovers, alright? It looks like this guy belongs in Vikings. And it's not just because of the Nordic fucking shit he has on his back. It's literally like, bro's built like a Viking. You know? He talks like a Viking. Yes, Valhalla. He didn't even say for Valhalla. I'll see you in Valhalla. He just, yes, Valhalla. You know? We might have the Viking version of a samurai in our midst, you know? We might be looking at a welterweight Yuri Prohaska. Alright? Clinches are really good. Some of the best clinches I think I've ever seen. He's what a lot of people picture Merab's fights are like. We'll get to it. But yeah, Gustafsson, he's good. He's good. He did a lot better than I thought based on like what I heard through the grapevine, because I don't watch a lot of debuts. Sick debut, made weight twice in a week. You would have thought Chaos Williams did. I swear to God, Chaos Williams looked like he had a concussion or he had brain damage. One of the two. I've never seen someone so, like, distraught, you know? Like, it literally looked like Chaos Williams was just, like, brain damaged. I don't know what, like, Gustafsson would do the same thing. And sure, Gustafsson got hit once or twice on the entry to a clinch. But Williams, even in round 1, like, Williams landed a few times in round 1. Gustafsson would wobble the fuck out of Williams, and it's like, oh shit, it looks like Williams about to get his ass beat. And then in round 2, William gets his ass beat, and he doesn't improve on anything, doesn't break clinch, doesn't, you know, he's doing these 50-50 positions, constantly swapping in round 2, and then in round 3, he doesn't do fuck all, and he gets his ass whooped again. But the same way, you know? It's almost like, it's like when you're watching someone play Mortal Kombat, and you're going against, like, a Sub-Zero, or you're watching the guy go against a Sub-Zero, and the Sub-Zero is just Ice Ball, Ice Clone, ice ball, ice clone, you know? And you're just sitting there like, is bro not gonna fucking teleport on his ass? You know, punish him for doing shit like that, you know? And Chaos Williams just never found the punishment. Tough debut. Chaos Williams normally is. Don't know how the fuck they both make welterweight. Welterweights, like, these welterweights, I swear to God, are light heavyweights. But, Gustafsson, great debut. Fantastic. Looks good. He does have, like, a Benoit Saint Denis style to him, where he is risky. He does get wobbled in, like, areas where he shouldn't be. You know, like, he'll do nice, clean entries into the clinches or, like, a takedown-esque sort of position, and he'll get you against the cage, just really good clinch work. But there'll be times where he just abandons it, goes in again, gets hit pretty hard, and Chaos Williams, if he had brain cells rubbing together and was starting to, like, headhunt, he probably would have been able to find Gustafsson. But Williams had nothing on the feet for Gustafsson. Gustafsson just whooped his ass for 3 rounds. Moving on, Sergey Spivak versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. Fuck Waldo, alright? I don't care where Waldo is. Fuck Waldo, alright? I fucking hate this guy. He's just a fat fuck. When will these heavyweights use their brain cells and be like, oh, Waldo sucks? Okay, let me just leg kick. You know? Oh, Waldo's sitting there doing absolutely nothing and has no pepper on any of his strikes? Okay, let me just low kick, you know? Oh, the low kick is free? Let me just low kick, you know? One day we'll see a fighter do it, and that was I picked Sergey. I was so worried about going into this fight because Sergey does not do his research, so I knew this was going to be a problem. I just thought he'd be able to get the trips and shit. He didn't get a single takedown, I think. They might have credited him. Oh, they credited him for 2. That's a little odd. He didn't get a single one in my book, but Sergey Spivak would throw... He would throw like a... This was a heavyweight Corey Sandhagen app performance, you know? This was literally like, he would throw one good combo of just like 100%, if it lands, it'll knock you out. And there's a few times Acosta was like, you know, goofing around, like he got stung one time and it was just like a, whoa, you know? Like a better version of MVP's mocking, which is crazy to say, which, you know, is funny. But I do think he was hiding the fact that he was getting rocked pretty bad. And even in the end of round 3, I will say round 1, super, super close. I would have given it to Sergey Spivak personally. I get why they gave it to Waldo Cortez Acosta. Sergey Spivak won 3 minutes. Costa won the last 2. The problem with Costa, though, is that he is dumb. And he just stands in front of you. And he just peppers you with shit. And it's not like I don't know how to handle this. It's just Spivak would do one good combination a minute. He had 5 each round, and some of them, they were shit. Like it's like he has one move on his hotbar, and that's to be explosive, alright? So he presses his explosive key, and all of a sudden he's doing something, and now it's on a minute cooldown, and you gotta fucking wait, alright? That's what Sergey Spivak was this fight. He does do it sometimes in his other fights, but like this, when the round is so close, like, just jab, man. Just low kick, man. You know? You hear the clackers in the back. Fucking throw. You know? Round 2, it did seem like that's what he was waiting for. It seemed like Spivak was just waiting for that big shot and just never found it. But, yeah. Spivak kind of got fraud checked, I guess, by Waldo Cortez Acosta. And this fucking guy gets to move on. And I'll continue picking against this fat fuck. Alright? Moving on. Azamat Murzakanov versus Brenton Ribeiro. I had Ribeiro. To be fair, Ribeiro, he had a decent game plan and he was looking good until he got caught. I think Azamat maybe landed 1 strike. Okay, well, it was 1 strike that put him down, I guess. For the first, like, 2 minutes, Brenton was sort of, like, doing his thing, you know? He was getting space, he was kicking, you know? He was looking very twitchy, like, very, like, I need to get this guy out of here, you know? I don't know if he needed a shit or something, but he was, like, scratching his belly, he was fucking scratching his ass, he was, like, fucking scratching his back in moments. Very, very twitchy with it, you know? Like, he was holding an aimbo in Rainbow Six Siege, and Azamat just decided to fucking throw the moment he looks away to fucking scratch his nose, you know? But no, he got caught, he got stumbled to the cage, and then Azamat basically went for the same strike. Hibero was like wobbled, but it looked way more like an equilibrium got fucked up rather than like he was actually switched off. And then he sort of got switched off when Azamat was just whooping his ass. I still don't understand how Azamat's going to do it. I don't understand how he's 15-0. He's getting old. He's a fat fuck. He probably could make middleweight if he wanted to, but yeah, I guess he's just going to kill it at light heavyweight somehow. Plot armored dad, fucking Azamat Murzakanov gets it done. I mean, it's sick finishes, to be fair, and his striking is good. But he's like a light heavyweight Mark Hunt. Am I the only one who thinks that? I don't know. You know, better striking, of course, better technique-wise, but that's what visually he looks like to me. Moving on, Bruno Silva versus Joshua Van. Great TKO in the third from Joshua Van. Bro, this guy's 23, and he's already ranked at flyweight. This guy's fucking doing it. All right, this guy's fucking insane. Now, what I will say, Joshua Van, okay, Bruno Silva, obviously I'd pick Joshua Van. You'd be a psychopath to pick Bruno Silva. But Bruno Silva was having, like, moments similar to the Cap fight, but Joshua Van shut down fucking everything. Every time Bruno Silva went in, he was getting hit. Every time, like, Bruno Silva would go in round one and then get tagged on the way out. He's getting tagged both ways, you know? How does a human do that? You know? Like, what the fuck do you do to Joshua Van on the feet other than get lucky with a punch? You know? The only time Joshua Van did get finished, he got chinned by, I think it was Charles Johnson, I want to say, something like that. But he got chinned. I think he was going in for something, and he just went in at a bad angle. You know? But Joshua Van, he's got great angle cutting. He's got great boxing. His kicks are a little lacking, but he honestly doesn't even fucking need them. His grappling defenses was really good, but there were times where a rocked Bruno Silva got a flush double leg on Joshua Van. I get it, it's like a surprise takedown. So I think Joshua Van, the takeaway here, is that while he did whoop Bruno Silva all out through those 3 rounds, and they were very clear, some people, you know, I was watching live chats, okay, some people are saying it was a 10-8. I don't think there was a single 10-8 in any of those rounds, but it was a sick performance from Joshua Van. He beat the living shit out of Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva was still throwing back, but Joshua Van just made sure all of it landed on the guard. He got clipped a few times, but like nothing that kind of stung him. And Joshua Van did Joshua Van things. I'm excited to see where Joshua Van's career takes off. I don't think he'll be... I think he will still be a Song Yadong, where he's going to find out Brandon, Royval, or Moreno, and it's just like... He loses, like, I think Royval could out-volume Joshua Van. Personally. You know? And, you know, like, the Brandons, I think, is where Joshua Van caps out right now. But he's still looking good. So I'm curious to see where it goes. I hope he gets, like, 3 or 4 more fights of, like, the... like, ranked... like, maybe even a cap after a loss. You know? The, Almabayev... Asu Almabayev, that guy, you know, I wouldn't mind that fight. So, you know, Joshua Van's got options. He's sick. I'm excited to see where his career goes. He's really fucking good. Really, really fucking good. Moving on. We have Vicente Luque on the main card versus Kevin Holland. I went with Luque. Listen. All right, skill for skill. Vicente Luque, I still think is better. Okay, I know he got choked out, but Kevin Holland looked like prime Kevin Holland. And you know what? Normally, I rant about, fuck Kevin Holland, I hate this guy, I can never pick any of his fights right, and that's still true, okay? But, Kevin Holland did look like prime Kevin Holland. It was entertaining, as much as I hate the guy. Fantastic fight, fantastic performance, and he seems a little bit locked in, but that's probably only going to last a month, let's be real. And then we'll see him fight somebody else. He gets subbed, make an excuse, you know, vintage Kevin Holland, but... he did get cracked pretty bad. I'm willing to bet Kevin Holland will get slumped out cold within the next year. You know? I think someone's going to do it to him. Don't know who. Maybe Propes? I don't know who, but someone's going to do it. But locked in Kevin Holland, he does have all the talent in the world, and he could fucking rival John Jones if he wanted to. You know? If he locked in. But I don't know how long Kevin Holland's going to fucking lock in for. You know? Another thing... Kevin Holland, okay. Kevin Holland for this. He clowned on Wes Watson. If you don't know the drama, I'm a little bit of a slop enjoyer, alright? Wes Watson, one of these fucking red pill alpha male douchebags who's getting arrested for, what did he get? Oh, he beat the shit out of somebody in a gym, you know, was using weights to beat the shit out of him. He beat him up, you know, he beat a brother up, you know, what the fuck, bro? So Kevin Holland clowned on him a little bit on social media. So Kevin Holland, keep clowning on that fucking clown. Cause Wes Watson was saying that, like, all fighters are betas or something like that. Fucking, you know, juice heads. You know, so Kevin Holland, you know, spread the word. You know, Kevin Holland, get the good name of the MMA fighters out of there. School these fucking muscle heads that think muscle trumps all. Alright, moving on. Mario Bautista versus Patchy Mix. I mean, guys, you must have been brain damaged to pick Patchy Mix in this matchup. Only a fool would pick Patchy Mix, alright? I picked Mario Bautista, just like all the sensible... This was the casual test of MMA. Let's be real, guys, alright? We all know if you pitch Patchy Mix, you have to be the most casual of fighters, aka every MMA YouTuber on the fucking space, alright? I didn't see a single fucking person pick Mario Bautista. I picked Mario Bautista, and thanks to one of my live streams, you know, I saw some of the homies pick Mario Bautista, alright? Some of the real, hey, Barry Ben fans, just saying, alright? A little bit of basement dwellers, alright? Hey, I see you, yep. Mario Bautista gang, alright? And Mario Bautista wins, so Mario Bautista won so that the main event could eat ass, but it is what it is. Mario Bautista made an interesting Patchy Mix. This is the first time I've ever seen him fight, admittedly. Bro, this guy doesn't move his head. He's got a, like, bro, he has the cinder block on his forehead, and his feet are stuck in cement. What the fuck is wrong with Patchy Mix? Who does he need in his corner to tell him, head movement, you know? Like, someone fucking tell this kid to move his head, alright? This guy's got a big-ass target, you know, with that fucking Raul Rosas-looking chin, alright? You know? Fucking Drew Dober looking like motherfucker, alright? But Patchy Mix, a little bit scrawny, alright? A little scrawny for bantamweight, aren't we? You know? I think Patchy Mix sucks, based off this performance, I'll be honest. Maybe it was the bright lights, maybe he had a problem. Mario Bautista just whooped his ass. Round 1, Mario Bautista just did his thing. Mario Bautista, I think, is going to become one of these guys where it's just like, how the fuck do you beat this guy? He's got great wrestling, he's got great wrestling defense, his striking isn't dangerous, but it's good volume, it's great fucking cutting angles and shit. These numbers are also so wrong. What the fuck? Mario Bautista landed way more than this. He landed on the head almost every single time because Patchy Mix literally has a cinder block and does not move his head, whatever. Like, he's the definition of a blockhead. Mario Bautista landed way more than this. These numbers gotta be fucking rigged. But, yeah, round 1, he just whooped Patchy Mix with the same 1-2 combo, cut angle, got away from all the strikes, and every single time Patchy Mix landed, it was on the guard. There was like 3 or 4 times where he landed clean, and they did sort of hurt Mario, but they didn't really do shit, I'll be honest, you know? Like, it wasn't like a, oh my god, next strike knocks out Mario. It was sort of just like, oh, okay, it was clean. You know? It was okay. But, yeah, Patchy Mix sucks. Anyone who picked him, obviously casual, forever a casual. You know, unfortunately for them. But the true Chads who picked Mario Bautista move on. Moving on to Kelvin Gastelum versus Joe Buddybag Pyfer. I picked Joe Pyfer. I thought he was going to win by finish. He almost did nearly in the first round, and he was making Kelvin Gastelum look like he didn't even fucking belong ever in the UFC. How the fuck was this guy ever in the UFC? I know Joe Pyfer is going to get shit on a lot in this fight. Joe Pyfer's biggest problem. Skills, great. You know, striking defense is okay. It's a little Adesanya-esque, where it's like he's going to get clipped here and there, you know? But his striking defense is pretty responsible for the most part. His stance, pretty good. It's pretty, like, inviting of a takedown, but, like, he can sort of move fast enough to where he can shuck off takedowns. He's got great grappling partners, so his grappling's pretty good. And his striking, is okay, but his power is really what it's, you know, there for. He did drop Kelvin Gastelum twice and wobbled him another 2 times. Head kick, a fucking elbow as well in round 1. He beat the living shit out of Kelvin Gastelum in round 1. It got a little dicey in terms of like who you'd really score to in the 3rd round. I thought 2 was very clear Joe Pyfer. 3 could have been Joe Pyfer. But what I will say, Joe Pyfer's biggest problem is that, I said it even on one of my live streams, he is quittable. He's very quittable. If you cheat, if you do something, right, he will just stand in front of you and be like, well, this guy fucking cheated. I don't have to fucking do shit, because if I lose, well, he cheated, so it is what it is. You know, he's one of those, you know? He's like that teammate when you're playing a video game, because Joe plays a lot of video game, aka why I'm using this analogy. He's like that team in Siege who's like, he's convinced his opponent's cheating, and they're probably not, based off of what you're seeing, right? And because he thinks his opponent's cheating, he just fucking rage quits the game. Or like playing League of Legends, and you have that one friend who just gets tilted, and he just fucking throws the whole game. That's Joe Pyfer embodied into a fighter. That's who he is, you know? And I really don't like the look of when round 2 finished, and his corner was like, okay, so you got those 2 rounds, but you can get a finish here. And Joe's like, I got those 2 rounds? And they're like, yeah, you got those 2 rounds, but we can get a finish here, all right? Yeah, for sure, I have those 2 rounds. I have those 2 rounds? Those 2 rounds are locked in. Those 2 rounds are my rounds? Yes, Joe, but we can get a finish here. I don't like that. That's very bad optics. Very bad optics going forward. Because that 3rd round literally looked like Joe Pyfer was like, yeah, fuck it, I won anyways. You know? Like, these crafty vets, you know, are going to give him problems, I guess. But I think he won comfortably. He is technically good. But Joe Pyfer needs to understand, if I'm winning the fight, I can still go for a finish, you know? So that's what Joe Pyfer needs to understand. Yeah. Moving on, we have a man beating the living shit out of a woman. Kayla Harrison beats Juliana Pena. The coin flipped. It landed on Juliana Pena. Hey, live on the sword, die by the sword. It is what it is. Coin went for 1 on this card. Don't care about this fight. Kayla Harrison just laid on Juliana Pena. I think her cock fell out at one point. Her nuts were dangling at one point when she got upkicked. And they had to like stop the fight, and they reduced a point on Juliana Pena's side because one of the kicks, like, it undone her shorts by mistake, and her nuts literally just hanged in the wind. And you know, everyone was like disgusted and shit in the crowd and everything, so we were all like, ah, fuck, you know. So we had to remove a point there, just because they probably had to cut that part on ESPN Plus, which is totally the stream I watch. But yeah, Juliana Pena gets fucked up by Kayla Harrison. I mean, it's not really a surprise. Kayla Harrison's literally a fucking dude. But Amanda Nunes is the type of woman to come back and beat her ass. Just saying. All right, Canada, stay on top. All right, we got GSP as the GOAT and Amanda Nunes as the woman GOAT. And Amanda Nunes claimed to be Canadian. Okay, main events in Canada. All right, so I'll take it. We claim her. All right. So yeah, moving on. If you say what you say, you are superstar. Fuck. God damn it, man. Son of a bitch. Merab picks up his first finish ever. I don't even remember. When was his last finish? 2024. Nope. Hey, you know what? First finish since 2021. It's been 4 years and he finishes fucking O'Malley, goddammit. To be fair, it was a good submission for Merab. It was really like I think no excuses, you know. Obviously this time around Sean O'Malley got fucked up. It is what it is. I was heavy on Sean O'Malley. I even put 50 bones on Sean O'Malley. It is what it is, you know. Gonna have to find a shift to make up for that, you know. But yeah, Sean O'Malley loses to Merab Dvalishvili. I will say round 1 was close. Round 2 was a little closer, I would say. Commentary is just glazing the fuck out of Merab. I think round one was 1-1 like their first fight, where it was O'Malley was dominating for 3 minutes. Merab gets a takedown, gets knees to the thigh, and all of a sudden Merab wins the fucking round because of knees to the thigh, even though he's getting pieced up for 3 minutes. So I think round one would go to Sean O'Malley. I think round two is very close. But Sean O'Malley had great optics because he shucked off a lot of takedowns. He didn't get a big moment in the last like 10 seconds, but it was fairly competitive. The striking numbers I haven't even seen. They're going to be absurd. Oh my god, those numbers are so wrong. They obviously count like the knees to the thigh. At one point, they had 60 strikes for Merab in the third. That is just that is a pre-written number. There's no fucking way he landed. I don't even care. Merab, round one, it was very competitive, like I said. First 3 minutes, O'Malley was beating the shit out of Merab. I don't think he landed a single punch. He might have landed like one or two. O'Malley was landing teeps. O'Malley was landing right hands. O'Malley was landing everything he needed to. Round two happens. A little bit more competitive. Round one, Merab at the end landed a takedown. Didn't really get it. Sean O'Malley shucked it off. He just sort of fucked up because he slipped a bunch of times in round one, and it's bad optics because it looks like he's being hit. It looks like he's being tagged. It looks like he's, not great optics, but I'd still give round one to Sean O'Malley. Round two, I think it was a better round optic-wise for Sean O'Malley because he shucked off every takedown. He literally, I don't know how many takedowns he shuffed. Yeah, he literally shucked off 7 takedowns. Or maybe it was 6 takedowns in round two. Either way, he was doing really good. On the feet, it was looking a little bit more competitive. Like, Merab was finding shots, but every time Merab would land like 2 jabs, O'Malley was landing one really good left or right hand down the pipe. And in the third round, Merab gets a takedown. O'Malley's trying to fight the whole time to try to get to his feet. At some moments, it looks like O'Malley's just like, fuck it, I'll let this round go by and we'll come back in the 4th and 5th for like a finish. But the problem is that I couldn't imagine anyone who was listening to this commentary scoring it for O'Malley for any of these rounds. And to be fair, they're close rounds, I get it. But the amount of glaze was like, every time Merab landed a jab, oh my god, he's finding that fucking shot on O'Malley. O'Malley needs to be defensively responsible. O'Malley needs to find that shot, A guy like O'Malley needs to do this, that, and the other. But it was way more competitive than a lot of people are going to say. And then in the third round, Merab on top for like 3 minutes dominantly. Doing nothing but really holding. He was striking in some moments, but so was O'Malley. They scored him to have like 4 strikes. He had like at least 20 where he was just fucking peppering them. And if you're going to say like those pepper shots don't count, why the fuck are we counting these knees to the thigh that Merab's doing that is not doing fucking anything? But gets to the cage. Merab gets a good position for it. Darce gets the sub, locks it in, and O'Malley tries to fight. And then at some point, he's just like, I'm fucked. Hey, it's the GOAT at the end of the day. Merab is the 135 GOAT for sure. Even before this fight he was, but now this is like, okay, he's beat Aljo's record. He's beat fucking, he's had 2 title defenses, is now going on the 3rd, like every other bantamweight champion, but he's beat a bunch of previous champions, twice now. And he's just unbeatable. Like, he will break, like I said in my breakdown, he will break one day. Like, his MCL, ACL, everything's gonna fall apart. His back spots look fucking insane in this fight. They were predominant as fuck. And he definitely is on PEDs. I don't give a fuck who you are. But Merab did win. It's funny to see the Nugget Man win. He's a funny munchkin. This was O'Malley's time to win. He shit the bed. This was when he was locked in. This is when it's like, okay, it's time for him to get back in the win column, become champ and everything. And he cooked, He got cooked. It is what it is, Merab went to the kitchen and he's like, fuck it. Just eat all the EPO I can, It wasn't even a cardio thing. It's not like O'Malley broke or anything like that. It was literally just Merab would get tagged, and it would just wobble him, and he would still just fucking pile forward. He's just unbeatable, you know? Bantamweight GOAT. He's never going to move up because he doesn't want to. He's funny. I don't mind Merab. Like I said in my breakdown, I've came down to Merab. I don't mind him winning. I'm just pissed off because of my debt, all right? But other than that, it's a good win from Merab, you know? It's a good win to get a submission. It's a good win to finish a guy like O'Malley. A lot of people are saying, like, O'Malley's career's cooked after this. He can fight Corey for a #1 contender, even though Merab's going to want to be active and probably fight Corey next. And Corey should be fighting for, like, that fight if I'm Corey. But you can do O'Malley, Peter Yan if Peter Yan beats Mark McGee, which he should, technically. And I'm predicting him to so far. But, you know, it opens the way for shit like Mario Bautista, you know? He's on a tear right now. I think he's on, what, like a 5 to 7 fight win streak? That's not bad, you know? 13 or 14 fight win streak for Merab. Merab's getting up there in the win streak, so W Merab. It's a good night to be a Merab fan. What can I say? You know? But yeah, that's the takeaway. I don't think Sean O'Malley's like washed or anything. I just do think Merab is he's just the bantamweight GOAT now, you know? Like, there's no way around it, you know? He is just that good. And getting better somehow at the ripe old age of 35. But Sean O'Malley, I don't think is cooked. I think he's got options. They could do Umar O'Malley? Umar O'Malley, not bad. Not a bad idea. You know, healthy O'Malley, everything like that. So, with all that being said, I want to thank you for making it all the way to the end of this video. And as always, I hope you have a good day.